There's not too many characters that can be played in Super Break, Break, Crit teams, and then also follow-up teams. Well, in today's video, we're going to be using one of those characters, and that is Xueyi. She is a jack of all trades that can be played in pretty much any team you want, except for maybe Dot. So, in today's video, we're going to be using the follow-up core consisting of Robin, Topaz, and Aventurine, and we're going to see how Xueyi performs in the place of Dr. Ratio, which usually is taking her spot. However, in the new Pure Fiction that just dropped, there's a ton of Quantum Weak enemies, which means it's Xueyi's time to finally shine. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're about to get into the run right now. Here we are in the second floor of the final stage. Now, this is versus the Deer. Quantum Weak, of course, wonderful for Xueyi, but you'll notice we're at 20,000 points, right? I did this on purpose because that way, if we want to get the full 3 stars, we're going to have to get 40,000 points in this stage and get the max clear. That means that we're going to have to completely kill the Deer, and normally, even though there's a follow-up buff for this stage, we're using only single target follow-up characters. So Xueyi has a little bit of AoE, however the damage is not very high, and Topaz is going to be knocking these guys into the other world one by one. Now the dice also, we picked the third buff. The first buff might have been better because it makes it so you only need 6 follow-ups and it increases the amount of damage it does. However, we're also dealing a lot of attacks with the basics from Aventurine, the ults from Xueyi, and her skills of course too. So it's a lot of sources of attacks, so I think this is the better route. However, I can't say that for certain. Now, we've only gone through 2 rotations, and we're just about into the second wave. We'll go ahead and basic. Now we got surprised there, wow. And the coins will drop from the, the secret stash that Aventurine has hidden in the ceiling. We'll go ahead and skill this trash can, applying the quantum. And she missed the trash can. Okay, I guess Xueyi doesn't like trash too much. I guess now we'll just force her to go eat the trash. Not eat the trash, but, kill the trash can. And Lord Trash Can said we passed the trial. So thank you for that, level of atonement. Is atonement the right word? Definitely not, but it made sense in my head. Anyways, we got another bomb dropping from the sky. Flexing some gray muscles. Thank you, Lordy Trash Can. You deserve to die now. Goodbye. Perfect. Now at this point, we'll go ahead and spin Numby. I did just have an interesting thought. Does Numby ever get dizzy? I get dizzy just by spinning in like 3 circles. I can't take those teacups at fairs. I like the anti-gravity ones where you kind of sit on the wall and put your feet up, but what are we talking about? Anyways, we're going to go ahead and basic this imaginary enemy. You'll always want to target the enemy that has the weakness because that's just how you build up the points with Xueyi. Similar to how Jade is going to be building up the points for every enemy that you attack with your character. The Debt Collector. I'm so excited for Jade. T-minus 3 plus 7 plus 12, 19 hours. Is that right? Yes. 18 and a half hours from the time of this recording, NA Jade will drop. So I will be looking forward to this in my head because I do not think many other people are excited for Jade. However, I am not on that boat.
The dice have been cast.
Now here we'll just go ahead and knock this little twig
Or maybe I'll take it off.
down. But did it die? Yes, it did. Adios. I love the swipe. With Aventurine, you love AoE attacks because you always get 5 points for your follow-up with just 1 attack, and it seriously is wonderful. So thank you, dear. Also, I just realized the Concerto damage is very, very low if you do not have any buffer on the team. Usually I don't put Aventurine in this slot. I do like to go for a 4th buffer, or like an extra buffer in the 4th slot, so like maybe like a Ting Yun, for example. But this is an interesting change of pace. The slight safer route. They have been making the Pure Fictions a lot harder, I think. Like, in terms of the amount of damage that they deal. Before, you could go in with no healer, no problem, but now, I don't see how you go in with no healer unless you're going for a Herta Himiko or for an Argenti, where you're just, killing everything in 0 to 1 cycles. Concerto up once again. Thank you very much, Robin, for that singing. And, oh, oops, I guess the singing's off. So, I guess we've got to mute Robin for this video. Go ahead and give Numby some nausea, and we'll go ahead and target always the quantum weak enemy, or the imaginary. Ka-ching! Now 1.5 cycles left, we're almost there, 50,000 points, only 10,000 to go. The explosion. Now interesting, what do we do with this ult? You know, we could target the deer, however we really kind of need to just make sure all the twigs are out of the way, because once all the adjacents are gone, the boss is going to take such an increased amount of damage that it's only going to take a couple of attacks at that point anyways. We are suffering from a little bit of action advance here, because we are using the Aventrine, of course. One basic and one explosion, and we're half of the way there. Kind of. Like 1/18. Time for some Bonanza. Or Topanga. I don't know what it's called. One more time. Coins from space. Explosion. We're getting a little bit close to the end, so let's try to speed this up just a little bit. Come on, Xueyi. It's kind of interesting. At this point, we would prefer to hit 3 quantum weak enemies, but there's no guarantee. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually use Aventrine's ult first, knock out this left twig, and then see how the floor is set up afterwards. Maybe we can get a better attack. I think this is better, because now we can kill one enemy, attack the deer, get extra quantum, but then also attack that left one, because we do need to kill the left one before we kill the deer. So can we get Concerto up? Yes, we can. Very, very thankful. Thanksgiving. Turkey. Pilgrims. Okay, Concerto is up, full team action advance, and Topaz, you were too slow, so you don't get your second turn. Only 1 skill point, though, so we do need to make sure that we skill with Xueyi, even though we could get the ult up with the basic too, but we can just make sure that twig dies. Oh, or a follow-up is just as good. Here we are, Xueyi. Your time has come. T-1 action value.
Execute the Marastruck!
For the builds here, Xueyi was at an abysmal crit rate for some reason. I kind of just made a mistake on that 2-piece, and we've got this weird Von Whack rope on her. What a mistake that was. Now, we've got the E6 Xueyi for those extra 2 points, looking very forward to Jade, but we got 77 over 149, but it gets extra crit rate with that set. I do prefer a higher crit rate on Topaz, especially a swordplay Topaz. Now, we've got extreme attack on Robin, 120 Von Whack, and the E2 does help us never have to leave Concerto ever. And the E1, of course, is that extra res pen. Aventuring was pretty standard with that 4-star light cone, but that was everything. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.